Hi, portfolio. How you guys doing? Welcome to week 5. Okay, let's jump back to week 4 real quick, see what we had going on. We had this discussion for week 4. This was that portfolio research, the next step. You guys all did very well on that. I think I got everybody back on that too. So good job there. And then week 4, assignment 2, of course, we had our corporate identity. And I left a lot of comments in there, and everybody got submitted on that one too. So there's a bunch of videos in there, guys. So listen, moving forward, make sure you look at everybody else's videos too, because you'll have some really good comments in there that will pertain to your own work as well. That's more than likely. So be sure to go through those. It's just a little extra for you too. Okay, so that's week 4. I'm gonna jump to week 5 now. Week 5 is about copyright. What's yours, what's not yours, what can you use, what can't you use, and if you do use something, how do you cite it? And that's what all of this is on here on week 5. Copyright 101, a few basic points. Be sure to read through those. Be sure to read up through all of this because it's really important crediting work. This is directly relevant to your portfolio too, and I want to tell you how important this is, okay? Let me share a story. A couple of months ago, I had an interview with a designer for my studio. A very, very talented academic honesty related resources. I'm just going through this stuff. Anyways, very, very talented young man. Very, very talented. He is going to go far in the business. I had been explaining to a few of you this week that as a principal, as a design studio head, I can't, everybody I hire, if I hire somebody, whether it's for a freelance job, whether it's a 1099, a subcontract, whether it's an intern or whether it's a designer, that constitutes a significant financial investment. Okay, as hiring professionals, we are not about to invest in a student who doesn't know good copyright etiquette. That's the truth, and you're going to see that over and over and over. As my story goes, very, very talented young designer, very talented, outstanding portfolio. But you know what? He didn't credit any of the images in his portfolio. What does that tell me? It tells me he doesn't understand copyright. He doesn't understand academic honesty. He doesn't understand academic integrity. He doesn't understand copyright material, crediting work, and understanding what is yours to show and what is not yours to show. By not understanding that, I couldn't feasibly, I couldn't consider him for the job. I couldn't. I didn't hire him. And I think that it would have been a detriment to my company, because if something would have gone out of my studio, that this particular assignment had gone to this particular designer, and this particular designer didn't know how to preserve academic, in this situation, it wouldn't have been academic honesty anymore. It would have been professional honesty and professional integrity. So my studio name is on it. Therefore, I didn't want anything to do with it. It's that important, folks. It's that important. You could get sidestepped for jobs. That's for sure. So this stuff is not, I'm not going to spend any more time on this, and I'm really not going to go through assignment number 1, other than spend some time on it. Don't spend all week on this, guys. Okay, this is, I believe, our final written assignment. So there's a lot of work yet to do. So keep that in mind, plan your time accordingly. If we take a look at what we have this week, this week in week 5 assignment 2, we've got a lot due, okay? So keep that into consideration. Go through this list before you start assignment 1, okay? What do we have due? By the 24th, that's 5 short days from now, we got 4 to 6 new finalized pieces. We have web digital media, 1 site example, and 1 additional of your choosing. You have package design and publication design. Okay, so just to review, let's jump back here to week 1. And just to review, we've got web digital media, 1 functioning website, must be a multi-windowed, minimum 3 pages. Okay, if you don't have a functional website, folks, it's okay to submit mock-ups of the first 3 pages of the site. they must show navigation, they must show intent, and they will be designed, they will be graded based on design as well. Okay, so please, if you don't have an active site, feel free to mock up your pages and include that. Also, from this web and digital media, you need one more of the following: multimedia presentation, animation, web banner. I think that would probably be the most versatile and most feasible thing, is a web banner, and then either web email or these things. So that's your web and digital media. Then we have package design. Okay, that's self-explanatory, right? And then publication design. Now, don't forget, this is multi-page editorial design with a cover, table of contents, and at least one typographic spread. Okay, that's really important too, so keep that in mind. Then do we have, let me see, I just want to go back to 4.2. Okay, so yeah, so that's your corporate identity, and I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. Oops, sorry about that. Web digital media, package design, publication design. Those are the three. I'm sorry. Okay, publication design, package design, web digital media. That's what to do this week. Okay, also, if you check this, it says we are going to, the PCF selected, so refine those. And where are we? Hang on one second, guys. Sorry about that. So that's 5.2, yeah, right? So, come on, let's go. Okay, so what I would like to do now is I want to go through my announcement, and this is the announcement for the week, and it's just welcome to week 5, and then just the written assignment. And then this, I've left this here because here, I just want to share this. Note how in the following example, the text and page number remain consistent. Also note the playing field. The playing field is consistent from page to page. We have what you've submitted so far. Last week, you were asked to begin to research and design the actual portfolio pages that will show the work. That's why I included this right here. This is an example. It's older, it's 2009, but the reason I like showing this is because it's following a pretty consistent grid, and also it is very consistent in the presentation. One thing I want to draw your attention to, you've got the logo up top. Okay, then down here you got the page number and then the written information for each of these pieces. Note that the written information and the page number is located in an identical spot on each page. Why is this relevant? This is relevant because as your viewer views page to page, you don't want the text jumping around the page. So in other words, when you go from this page to this page, you don't want the text going from down here to up here or over here. And the reason is because you want to set this cadence, this timing, this rhythm that a viewer can conform to while going through the presentation. In other words, so you go through the presentation, so each page you know where the information is, so you don't have to spend time readjusting your orientation to the page to figure out where the type is. Okay, so you know that the next page I can go straight and look at the work, and then I can go down because I know the type's going to be right there. Okay, so it's one less visual stop that you have to worry about, and that's important. So I recommend you guys do that in your portfolios. Design your background pages. Remember not to design your background pages real busy. No frames or anything like that, because you don't want anything competing with your work, not even your background pages. That's why this is so objective right here and just so basically innocuous. It's good design, don't get me wrong, but it's not flamboyant or it's not in your face. You know what I'm saying? And that's really important for a portfolio. It really is. Last thing you want on a portfolio is a big frame with colored swirls and anything that's going to take attention away from your work. Also note in this piece that this designer is using a really nice tight, well, it's not actually that tight. It's kind of loose, but it's a 4-column grid and it's consistent from page to page. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. In this page, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a consistent 4-column grid. Now, the designer has chosen to break the grid up in different ways. Be sure to review how to design using a grid that I placed in the announcement material last week, directly relevant to this. Okay, I think that as far as the size for your background pages, I think that's important too. All right, I personally think 8.5 by 11 is wrong. I think anything default that comes out of your computer has got to be adjusted. As a graphic designer, you shouldn't count on anything default, including leading, kerning, spacing, anything. You have to customize a lot of that, and that includes your default 8.5 by 11 page. Careful not to use 8.5, 11 by for your background pages. An interesting size is more of a landscape, more of a horizontal orientation. Okay, and I think a wonderful size is this. Instead of going 8.5 by 11, okay, you would have 8.5 by 11, and we always go width first in graphic design, so you always give the width dimension first. So we would go 11, I'm sorry, 8.5, but instead of 11, let's conform to the golden section, okay? And let's use mathematics to create harmony in our page. So not only will you be using a grid, you'll also be using a harmonious page size, 8.5. Remember Fibonacci numbers sequence, remember the golden section, 1 to 1.618, 8.5 to 1.618 is going to be 13.75. So a wonderful page size for your portfolio is 8.5 by 13.75. Okay, it's a harmonious page size because it conforms to golden section. It'll hold a grid beautifully. It's a very versatile and wonderfully comfortable page size. Think about it. If you don't want to use that page size, think of some other variation of the golden section. Okay, that comes to where? Package design, that comes to this. Never give up, guys. Never give up. You can see the little frog here. He's still choking that bird, and it looks like he's getting the better half of that bird. So that little frog, he's not giving up. He's almost done with this portfolio, and time's running out, but he ain't giving up. Okay, so that's where I want you guys to be. I want you guys to have your hands around the neck and choke the portfolio until you're done with it. Okay, so everybody's doing really good, guys. You guys are doing really good, and you guys are working hard. You are. It's a good little, it's a small group, but it's a good, hard-working group. I love it. Okay, so that's where we're at, guys. This is it. This is it. Final presentation next week. My, how time flies, right? So let's do this. Any questions, comments, concerns whatsoever, please feel free to get with me. All right? Thanks, guys.